Hello guys, I'm Super. Welcome back to the channel, and I keep getting a lot of comments on the old Zafira video asking what's going on with it and can we have an update. So here is the update on what's going on with my Zapira GSI. As you can see, not a lot. I bought this last Christmas as a non-runner, and it's going to be a little bit of a side project, and we diagnosed what was wrong with it through compression tests, finding we had low compression on 2 cylinders, and then getting the camera inside the bore, finding that we had ends of spark plugs missing, and they had made a real mess all inside the bore. In the head, it's really munched up. But surprisingly, it still runs absolutely perfect, and it even drives around, doesn't smoke whatsoever, even though it's got hardly any compression on the middle 2 cylinders. And with a new coil pack and a new crank sensor, we actually got it running pretty well. So with all the mess inside the bore, I was out looking for another engine to replace this one, and then it's gonna be a swap and do this. That was all gonna start after I'd finished the kit car, and when that was waiting for it to have its IVA. And since all that happened, I bought a house and I've been home renovation riding, so all the cars have taken a bit of a back seat, and this one has just unfortunately sat here for now. It was a bit of an impulse buy at the time. I wasn't looking for one, but I've always wanted them. I've had Cavalier GSIs, the Vectra GSIs, and this was the ultimate daddy cool and Arden blue Zafira GSI, just like the advert. This is a real great spec one with the full leather, got the flip down TVs in the roof and the factory sat nav as well, along with all the other standard GSI refinements. I paid £600 at the time, which was a great price, even though it was a non-runner, and that included delivery here to Auto Shack, and also this suffers from the common problem of the saggy roof lining in these Zafiras. So the guy got it off Brakes Cars, and he said he's got a Zafira in and he'd send me down the roof lining. Well, we both got busy. Pretty much straight after I bought this, that's when I broke my leg, so I was laid up for a few months. Then we both got different things. But out of the blue, last week he messaged me and said, I've got a Zafira, do you want the headlining? So me and my dad popped down there, we slid it in the top of his Passat, and we drove back here to Auto Shack. So that's another little job to do, swap the headliners over, and it's going to make it so much nicer inside. We've got the full level, which is in great condition. It's just that saggy headliner letting it down. When I was doing all the diagnostic on the engine, I also had a good look around the car just to see what else it needs and kind of figure out whether it was going to be cost effective to save this car or whether it does need to be breaking and going to the scrapyard. The things I've seen, because it had been sat for so long, all the brakes are very rusted and pitted, so it needs discs and pads all round. The steering rack was leaking quite a bit out of the boot, had a blown flexi, which I fixed that just because it was annoying when we were trying to run it. And it also needs a couple of tyres and a windscreen. So I added all them up and decided I do want to keep it. I really love these cars. I've always wanted one ever since watching the advert as a kid. So I decided it was going to be a saver. Problem with these engines, the Z20 LET, there's so many out there with the same problems as this, with low compression, leaking stem seals, and it's really difficult to find a good one. And I really didn't want to buy one off a pallet because you don't know if it's running. Everyone says, yeah, it's perfect compression across. But every time I asked for the result, they said, yes, it's definitely got good compression. Oh, we didn't take any pictures, and it's just not worth the risk. I've got an engine like that here already. So a great tip we give to everyone here at Auto Shack: if you're going to buy an engine for a conversion, always hear it running, and better still, buy a donor car, because then you can hear it running, driving, and you know it's going to be fine when you get it in your car and you're going to have no problems. So I've been looking around for Z20 LETs for quite a while, and the right one just hasn't come up, but this weekend that kind of all changed. But this weekend that'll change because I bought another one.
Doing crazy dreaming.
nothing ever seems to come up for sale around our area. It's all in the Midlands or up north or in Wales or down south. It's never in East Anglia where we are. So I was just cruising on Facebook Marketplace where I actually found this one, and this came up, believe it or not, 7 minutes away from AutoShack. It could not be more perfect. This is another Zafira GSI, not quite as high spec as this one, but it's got the Recaro half leather interior and of course the Z20 LET engine. And like I say, just 7 minutes away and it is up for £900. So I spoke to the guy and I went and met him as soon as possible because I knew it wasn't going to hang around for long. At that price, I'm sure you can kind of guess it's not going to be perfect. It's got a bit of bad paintwork all the way around, but the main problem, it's got a real smoking problem. I got chatting to the owner and it turns out this has been a local car for nearly 10 years around this area, so I may have even seen it around. He got it with a little bit of smoking issue and he decided to sort it, so he did all the right things. The first thing, of course, he assumed with this, smoking Z20 LET valve stem seals. So he got some Nevlock uprated valve stem seals and replaced them all in situ with all the special tools that you use, with the bit of rope down the piston to keep the valves up, and he completed all that, put it all back together, and it was exactly the same. As the cams were out, he done a cam belt, and this car has also got extensive service history that's been regularly serviced all the way through. It already had a water pump done, and it already had the head gasket done and skimmed in 2017. He went through all the basics, he done a compression test, that was all fine. He knows the valve stem seals are fine. It's fully serviced with genuine filters, genuine oil, but the smoking problem was still there. So of course, the next port of call on these are the turbos. It already had a VXR upgrade put on it some time ago, but he took the intercooler pipe off and loads of oil just came out, which is a sure sign of turbo problems. When it's running, you take the breathers off and there's no blow by whatsoever, so it's not a ring problem and it's got great compression, so it really does look like it is the turbo. So again, he did exactly the right thing. He got in touch with a reputable firm, Essex Turbos, who are local to us, and got a brand new VXR core sent down, and he went about swapping that over. Got the brand new core in, guess what? Still smoking. So he looked into it a little bit more. He'd done all the double checking of he had the right turbo, the right core, checked out and cross-referenced all the part numbers. And then with a little bit of searching online, he came across a situation with restricted banjos and normal banjos. It seemed like there's a bit of a crossover of year of some turbos. Some have restricted banjos, some don't have restricted banjos. And when he took it apart, he had a restrictor in the turbo and a restrictor in the banjo. But all he can assume that the turbo was starved of oil straight away, even the brand new core, and it just ripped the seals out. It does still boost, but it is very, very smoky. So I'm sure now your wives and girlfriends are sitting next to you thinking, so you've bought two Zafira GSIs, both with engine problems. And this is why I'm glad I'm a single man now, because I don't have to explain those kind of answers. So what the plan is, this car has actually got 2 months MOT still left on it. I know the turbo is perfectly fine on this one. This has got a VXR unit. So I'm going to take the turbo off this one, put it on this one and drive this round for a couple of months just to make sure that everything's okay. Any niggly little problems can get sorted. When the MOT on this one runs out, what's going to happen? I'm probably going to break this one and stick the whole engine, gearbox, full package into this one. There's nothing wrong with this one. I just really, really want a blue one. While it's out, I might give it a freshen up because this one has done a little bit more miles than this one, but it just runs so perfectly. There's no leak. As the last guy was doing all the bits and pieces on it, everywhere there's a leak, he replaced the gasket, like the rocker covers, everywhere else. So I might just leave it as a whole, still sealed, and it's so perfect. And other things that are going to come across that I need, you can see the brakes on the blue one have just been left too long and they're heavily pitted. They're not going to come back. And the wheels are really corroded. This is one of the better ones, but they're really crusted up around. Whereas on the black one, brakes are in normal use, still got loads of life on the pads, and the wheels are in much better condition, as are the tyres. This one needs a mirror base, could use the one off this one. This one actually needs a windscreen, so I might even look, this one looks nearly brand new in here, so I might look at getting the windscreen swapped over. Also, the rear bumper has got a crack in this one, so we can use this one. And any other little bits and pieces that I need, this one runs perfectly. There's no lights on the dash whatsoever, whereas this one has got the coolant light on, which means the coolant module's a bit faulty, so we can transfer that across. It's going to be a shame to break this one, but I reckon I can almost get my money back on what I paid for it in breaking the whole car and keeping the engine. We've got all the interior, we'll have a full set of wheels, all the rest of the body kit. There's lots of bits and pieces, the doors, the panels we can take off. So this seemed the most cost-effective way. I'm going to know that it's a great runner. I'm going to solve any problems before it goes into this one. And with a bit of time afterwards, we're going to recoup most of our money. So I'd say that is win-win. As he was sorting the problems, doing all the leaks and gaskets, as he went, he did a few mods. He got a crossover delete, a few other pipes. But when it came to the end, this was completely unmolested, standard car. Pretty much just like the blue one. But you can see how grotty and oily this one is. And you can see how good condition this one is in. I am more of a fan of the standard look, but just driving it home with the crossover delete and the filter, it did sound pretty awesome. So it might stay for now. I did a compression test on it as well when we got back, and it all checks out. It's absolutely perfect. I don't think there's anything wrong with the engine whatsoever. It doesn't breathe heavy, it's got perfect compression. I'm pretty convinced it's a turbo problem. But unfortunately, his battle with this car had to come to an end. He's got 4 kids already, and he's now got another one on the way. So he just wasn't going to have any time. He just had to cut his losses. Unfortunately, he's really excited about having this. He's had a Zafira GSI in the Arden blue before, and he's going to relive it again with this one. So he put it up for sale, and I was lucky enough to swoop in there just at the right time, just at the right place, and it's all going to work out. He's done a lot of the hard work for me because all the things that he's completed were exactly what I would have done. Any Z20 let I would have got, I would have put Nevlock upgraded valve stem seals on anyway, give it a cam belt and a service anyway, but these have all been done already. He's changed all the vacuums, any cracked lines, all the vacuum pipes have all been replaced, and I was just lucky enough to spot it and swoop in there just in time. It's got all the old bits in the boot, all the old crossover pipe, cam belt, other bits and pieces. There's the old turbo core. That's the new one that went on. Also needs a drive shaft, one of the CVs a shot. So he bought one but never got around to fitting it, so I can stick that on. All the old vacuum pipes, all the old original pieces are all in there. There's the pre-cat as well, he's put a pre-cat delete on. And the other thing, why it's so noisy, there's the exhaust tailpipe. You can see. So it should have an exhaust, but fell off. So here's the rear bumper, and you can see the rear bumper on mine has got this crack in it, so we'll stick that one on. And here's the new headlining we got the other day, all nice and perfect compared to this sagger and this sagger. So we've got one nice one to go in. And something that was really funny, when I turned up to view the car, started having a look around, I said, oh, I've got an Arden blue GSI as well. And he said, yeah, you do YouTube, don't you? And as it turns out, when he's searching for solutions to his smoking problem, he came across my videos on the blue GSI. It is indeed a very, very small world. So in the next week or so, because the MOT is still going on this one, I'm going to swap the turbo over. They're nice and easy to do on the front. I'm not going to mess around with cores. I know this one is good, and I'm going to transfer it right over. I may send this core back to Essex Turbos for them to check out just to see if there is a problem in there. Maybe I'll get one back on warranty. I'll see what they say. If they do, I can put the new core in this one, then I know I have got a perfect core. So that's the update on the Zafira for now. I'm still really excited about getting it. I can't wait. Driving this one home has made me want one even more. It's such a cool boosted bus, and I can't wait to have an Arden blue one sitting on my driveway, just like the 2002 advert. I'll do a little update when everything's swapped over and it's all up and running, and I'll let you know if that does solve the problem. If you have any thoughts on what else could be pouring oil into the intercooler, let me know, because that could save me a lot of work in the future. If there's a known problem that you know about, let me know in the comments. But of course, until next time, make sure you have fun. And now I think you can see why the thumbnail was in black and white.